everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Mic'd Up With Mass. We've come a long way from the days of madmen of advertising. Today's advertisers and agencies are dominated by what is called the mathmen era, where marketing is run by engineers, data scientists, machine learning, and of course, creativity. If you've ever wondered how a digital advertising agency functions, today's episodes of Mic'd Up With Mass is going to be an interesting one for you. We go behind the scenes with Niko Belikov, head of brand at WakeApp, and joining him is Ankit Rawal, VP of Sales and Marketing at Affle's Mass. Welcome, Ankit and Nikolai, to our today's podcast episode.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and sorry for I don't say so not availability so quick, but finally we made it. Yeah.
Absolutely, Nikolai. It is great to have you on board, and you're on our 18th episode. So, really looking forward for a scintillating conversation. But for our listeners, why don't we start a little bit about your brief background, your introduction, and what you do at WakeApp?
Yeah. Okay. So, Wake Up is like I'm head of the brand of Wake Up, so which means like I'm operating and developing and need to see about all things all together. So we have a big team.
Mm-hmm.
I have a big team, which is great guys and great ladies who's keeping doing the outstanding job each day, even in this all day changing environment. Yeah, I would say so. It's just, each day we have extra challenges, and we continue to maintain for the last 4 years. So like uh, agency itself, it's 8 years, but I joined agency 4 years ago, and we've shifted the focus from the SO agency to user acquisition agency. We are mainly focusing like on gaming, sport books, lotteries, legal local license markets such as UK, which one of the biggest for
Mm-hmm.
us. We licensed in all states in USA, which required licensing for operating and providing the traffic for USA operators. We are licensed in Romania, so and also obtaining the license in Greece. To be able to advertise there. So saying that, so we're one of the best in Europe in terms of this vertical. I'm pretty sure we are right now like at least in top five. At least I actually believe more. But let's see. So we actually for 4 years we continue to grow at least x3, x4 each year, which means we're doing something good, I believe. So we may manage to cover it like and agree with a lot of traffic sources to do it in compliance way in mobile, like around saying I think 90% of the mobile traffic sources which can be manageable and working with these verticals is agreed, and we're running them. So we can do huge numbers, like really outstanding numbers. So that's what we're famous for. So, and I think all of our main clients are working with us for, I think, 4 years, some of them 4 years already, 3 years, 2 years. But the main thing for me and what's important, how if you ask me what is like, how you measure, are you successful or not? For me, success when your client coming to you and staying with you and growing with you, like from the first day to and still. And there's a majority of these clients we're working that is so. We got that, but I'm
World
sure I
Cup
can
is
mention
coming.
like
I'm sure
that's
they'll fit
but
in.
65, like the guys, yeah, yeah, and 10 groups. So I think all of the major biggest groups in this vertical working with us, or we are in negotiation to start working for some for more, a lot of them. We are providing the majority of the traffic. So we are like doing really good job in terms of mobile. We also started like with working with web this year, and moving to DSP areas. So like when we continue to grow, so I think this year we will finish also triple or fourth growth. But let's wait until the end year. So
Wow.
it's a good way.
Great, great, great. Uh, since you mentioned an interesting thing, right? Like what we've seen and from various guests on the podcast, that in some sense, COVID has been the chief digital officer. Many businesses vertical, whether it was commerce, entertainment, education, they all got turbocharged during COVID. And I think one of the other segment which we really saw grow in COVID was gaming, right? And you guys work very closely with gaming companies. So I'm curious that as we are now coming out of COVID or its impact is coming down, do you see gaming is still holding up the COVID bump, or is it going down? What are you seeing in the gaming sector?
Yes, but it's not gaming, it's iGaming, which means it's like gaming for real money. So but only legal, like local guys who have like UK is also legalized in USA markets, which you're running also in compliance way. Yeah, so you're absolutely right. During the COVID, not only gaming but iGaming grow significantly
Mm-hmm.
actually, because a lot of people sitting at home and have a lot of time and nothing to do.
Yeah.
Not all of them who want to do some trainings, education, some to become better. Some of them just didn't do it. They just want to do it, but still start to play through the phone on real money, not on real money. Then they just need to spending the time, yeah, because there was huge of plenty of free time, especially for the guys who was in offline businesses. So it's for them it was a disaster
Mm-hmm.
and it was very hard times. But nevertheless, yes, so you're absolutely right. Gaming and gaming was grow significantly, and gaming right now not grows as it is after lockdown and COVID over. But as I told you, we also a sport books, so we're working a lot of with sport.
Mm-hmm.
After COVID ended, sports start to grow because it was dropped down to zero this time, and now sport is blooming. And if compare, because we're working with whole vertical, yes, I think maybe slots is going down, but sport right now is increasing and increasing, and a lot of people, through these 2 years, start like with a myth about the sport. So they really like even I, who did not watch the sport too much, start to watch like NBA games. Once again, we were like in our childhood, so I also come back to watch the sport because from I don't know, when you even something is taken over from you, you really understand how precious it
Yeah.
was. So now a lot of people, even who did not watch the sport, start to watch the sport. So and we see big increase here. So yeah.
So,
So this whole vertical is continue to grow due to that. And also you need to understand, so like 4 years ago, number of legalized local license market was like I think 2 times less than now.
mhm.
So the market itself continued to grow. This is well for USA with the states. Most states was added. Netherlands became licensed. Whole half of the Africa become licensed and regulated markets. Canada, Ontario become regulated markets, and I can continue this list. Half of Latin America become regulated market. So number of the market itself for the last 4 years, from the regulated markets. So it grows from like I don't know how to say it. Like it grows 4 5 times. So the market itself growing significantly.
Interesting. And the similar trend is also happening here in India. And one of the things we saw, where the gaming base is growing from what we call the three M's to the three V's. So gaming, and I'm not talking about iGaming, but any kind of gaming including real
Yeah,
money, used to be very male, metro, and millennials. What has happened during COVID, and as now, even now, it has become
exactly,
three V's,
exactly.
where more vernacular, which is not just people in bigger cities but smaller cities are getting into gaming. It is much more video oriented, which means a lot of older demographic, right? Because people who always are not texting but they are consuming a lot of short video formats, they are getting it into. And interestingly, a lot of women is also getting into gaming. So curious, do you see a similar trend with your clients, that you have more women, more older participation, and more demographic participating in
I
iGaming?
would say yes and no. Yes and no. So yeah, there are some exactly there is some increase in women
Mhm.
to like to maybe like and we know like women initially, so they like more prefer like something like lotteries or bingo. Guys more prefer slots and live casino. But yeah, if in terms of poker, for example, yeah, poker, yes, we see increase in women who start to play poker. And for sport, I wouldn't say so. So there is, yes, there are some increase, but not so big like in this gaming space. But still, like I know for the targeting purpose of you, and it's still the business. And from a right point of view, so like it's not a core auditory. So I think this is auditory to need to mature, need to have fun out of that more, and maybe like 2 3 years from now, yeah. But the trend has started absolutely. So especially with lottery, bingos, and card games. Yeah, we observe that.
But
With
what we
sport, not
also
so
think is, like,
much,
in
but let's see
sports,
how
like
it
for
will
example,
develop.
cricket, right?
Further, I
As
see.
you know, cricket, for example, is very popular here in India. And previously it was very
Yeah,
male oriented, but a lot of women, especially with the new.
I know you guys are crazy about cricket.
So maybe with the upcoming World Cup, we may see a little bit more female participations. You never know.
I hope so. I know how, at least in our team, I can give you an example. When we started, we have only one lady
Hmm.
who was a fan of the sport. So, but she's like crazy, real sport football fan. Like like core guys usually do. So she's going on all matches. She's traveling with the team, all stuff. So she's really core fan. But what I'm observing, so but maybe by her influence as well, a lot of girls in our team has become more and more interested in sport, and especially a cyber sport.
Okay.
So this, I think, new millennial population is like they're really crazy about cyber sport. Where I see a lot of girls like interesting in sport is a cyber sport like Dota, League of Legends, like Counter Strike. So there we see in millennial, yes, there's a lot of women who watch this, who are interested in this. It's not, I don't understand it. It's not mine. Even I was a cyber sportsman in the past, but it was like when Quake 4
Okay.
or Quake
Quake
3 was
3.
a
Yeah,
sport.
yeah. I also grew up
So,
on
but
Quake
yeah,
3. Yep. Great. Great. Let me change track a little bit, Nico, and
it was one of the best team.
got it. Got it.
Yeah,
Great. Let me change track a little bit, right, and maybe talk a little bit about more app user acquisition because that's what you do day in and day out, right? And all of us are aware about the current macro
yeah,
environment. There are a lot of stress in terms of marketing budgets. We're talking about recession in US and Europe. Uh, Curious with that as a backdrop, do you see a little bit of difficulty from your clients in terms of marketing budgets? How do you advise them to become more uh,
no,
judicious about performance marketing? Can you share some learnings there?
yeah. So what I like about performance marketing compared to other stuff of marketing, it's much easier if you are doing your job good and you're expert in that.
Hmm.
Because in reality, guys, we're selling the money. So, and it's very stupid for people not to buy the money because that's how business works. So yeah, but you should do good. You know how it works because like a lot of people, yeah, we do performance marketing, but in that it's a waste of the budgets. But if you know how to do it, we're not affected by that. To tell you the truth, so what I see is the budget is increasing actually, because the markets, as I told you, overall, this vertical, the markets are growing. The World Championship will be in November. Everybody is increasing the budget due to that because it's, I think, the major event for the next 2 years. So, in terms of that, so in the last year it was Europe Championship in football. Yeah, so we see increasing the budgets from month to month on a lot of players on the market actually. So, and a new as a new countries become legalized and local license, so they also spending the budget there. So yeah, we're a little bit different from, I don't know, agency who are working with like e-commerce, where I believe the budgets are shrinking. So here is the other ways around because it's new, because it's adding a new markets, the budgets are growing. Yeah, for some mature markets we see the decrease, of course we see the decrease of the budgets, yeah, because the market is already mature. It's not about I don't know, aggressive acquisition. It's becoming all about like maintaining retention, keeping the numbers, hitting the budgets. And for the new markets, we continue to see aggressive acquisition for some of the players. The budget is growing. All you need to do is doing your job good.
Hmm.
Then you can have the more and more of this budget. If you don't do your job good, so you will be kicked out. That's it. It's not about like, impressions. It's all about, you know ROI. Here we're talking only about ROI, retention, all this hard stuff. So nobody cares how much impression you will show, how much people will see that in performance, how much clicks you send, how what is conversion from click to install. Everybody cares here about which ROI they get, how we can scale to keep to maintain this ROI, how we can scale together, increase our partnership. So this is even more not about marketing, more like becoming about partnership. So you need to understand your client, your partner goals, hit sales targets, etc., etc., and then you can be together quite successful if you do it right.
Absolutely, and that's what even we believe at Mass, where we focus on downstream KPIs and return on advertising spends. But one of the challenge we have seen with a lot of marketers is that if someone, a small app developer goes, they get really confused because there's so many channels, right? There are affiliates, ad networks, there are programmatic channels, there are influencer marketing, there is so many of these social channels beyond Facebook now, right? Whether it is Snap or TikTok or Kwai in certain markets. So curious, how do you advise your clients to navigate what I
Yeah,
call the
yeah,
ad
yeah, yeah.
tech maze.
But I think if it's small app, I'm sorry for all small apps, guys, but it's not nothing personal. But I do believe you're not our client. So because like small apps, when you're small and start up, you're on your own. You need to learn everything from the scratch, and you need to learn it from the guys around you and make and survive, but not doing critical mistakes. And then you become a bigger app, and then you can find a good partners who will help you, etc., etc. Or you need to find investments, if somebody who believe in your small app, and then you can do it on a big game scale if you do have a good product. So let's keep the small app then question and move to how we recommend. Okay, for example, some of the big clients decided to enter new market, just for example, yeah. So how we will advise the strategy? So because we separated into six, of course, there are like sources which, for example, Google PPC, yeah, or Yahoo Bing PPC. So it will be like context. It will be very very target and precise auditor. It will be high cost of acquisition, but potentially with high ROI. Uh, so definitely we need to put strategy and effort there. So then we're going to, okay, we need to start with social. So we see on the market which social is working best for their core auditory. For example, just for example, for India, yeah, you don't have guys TikTok. Just no, just quick example, you have Snapchat. So if you want to move like to advertise in India, you don't go to TikTok. But if you go to like, for example, then we go in social. If the guys have a strategy on the young, so do we need to cover the young auditories? And if we need to go to Snapchat, not focusing like on 30 plus. So okay, let's do not Instagram, not Snapchat. We will talk in social. We take Twitter. I would say like Facebook. So it depends on their targets. So in what they want to achieve there, because some of the operators, okay, we want to work on the younger auditory who's like 18 plus to 30 plus. It will be one so slow socials like Snapchat, TikTok if it's available, so things like that. If it's talking about grown auditory, it will be other socials, so where we will promote and other sales targets, so no like, and other KPIs. It depends on, but yeah. So we just do it differentiate based on the strategy of the client, how they want to penetrate aggressively, more conservative, slowly, slowly. So we're taking like, okay, so if you're talking about Apple, absolutely must have Apple search ads. You understand for Google UAC. So this is must have two sources which you need to absolutely have in the pipeline, just not discussable. So then you add some of the PPC context search. Then you add some social, depends on the target. Then you add some DSP to start with, like one, two, which we believe more will be more suitable here. If it work, we continue. If it not work, we just add for another DSP. So we're not changing a lot of. So we like all of that is going to the test phase. So we and on the test phase, and based on our experience, we see from the very beginning is there is issue from the product. Then we pause campaigns, or we don't pause. We say, guys, you have an issue on the product. We need to fix it immediately, or we will be wasting your money. And they say, no, it's okay, please continue, but on a small scale, we fix it quickly. If they said pause, we're pausing, just waiting for the fix. It's fixed, we continue, and then slowly, slowly, like on the first 1,000, second thousand, we're optimizing and going there, and we see so it's working in KPIs and strategy and sales targets with scaling. If not, we're discussing how we want to approach it. Do we need this network, or we pause it for, and we'll come back like maybe in the next months when we do some retests. And so potentially after the first months, we have like 5, 6 working traffic sources, which we're scaling already. And then we continue to test and adding more. Potentially for the client where we're doing a big budgets, we're actually running like, I don't know, 5 social networks, context search, Google, Bing, I don't know. So like we're running like a whole bunch of enough guys like Weigel, Iron Source, Unity, I don't know, like Mintegral, Chartboost, etc. Then we're talking a couple of three or even more DSPs like you guys, I don't know, like Criteo, Liftoff, whatever. So, but it's taken like from the like top priority sources, which is as a UAC, like we're starting absolutely must have. Yeah, so we don't start without them in context search with the strategy, and then we will, and all of them other sources will be like testing phase. If what is on the testing phase of the 5 months must showing success, will be scalable. If it's not show success, not to waste money, we pause and rescale next month or retest next month until we find the right approach, or we understand. So okay, we did so much tests, we know where we can make the conclusion this is not suitable traffic source, for you on this market.
Interesting. No, no, that's quite comprehensive.
Something like that.
That's quite comprehensive. Great. I think let's come to the last leg of our podcast, and this is
Yes, that's how we guys doing big numbers. So that's how we do big numbers.
absolutely, absolutely. Thanks, Nicole, for such a
Yeah.
comprehensive answer. I think now we'll come to the last part of our podcast where we really want to understand the speaker a little bit more on the personal front. So, the way we structure is we do a rapid fire, and it'll be great if you
Okay.
can respond in a word or a sentence, etc., wherever possible. So, are you ready?
Yeah, let's try it.
Yeah. Describe yourself in one word.
Uh Passion and focus. I can't do one.
If you are not a marketer, if you are not a advertiser or a marketer, what would you be?
I will be the leader.
Okay. Uh, your favorite ad tech buzzword? As you know, ad tech is famous with a lot of buzzwords. What is your favorite ad tech buzzword?
Trust.
App installs or retention?
ROI, which is mean retention.
A daily habit that has been a game changer for you?
Meditation.
Wow, that's interesting. I also do a lot of meditation. Nico, this was really fascinating. Before we let you go, and I know you're a really busy person, any parting thoughts for our listeners?
Yes. So actually, thank you for I think for inviting me, because it's like quite unique experience for me. I did not never do podcast, so never. So I like to learn something new, do something new. I like new experience. So thank you for this opportunity to have this experience with you guys. So I do believe we're one of the strongest, I would say, DSP network, at least in Asia region, as absolutely. So I'm keen to try to also to work with you guys like in Europe region. Let's see what it can be done there, what can we spend. So and besides that, so I do believe just maybe to share our values of the WakeApp, which I didn't do from the very beginning, and we believe these values bring us to success and this growth. So this is absolutely three words: is respect, trust, and focus. So thank you very much, and let's continue our collaboration. I definitely see a big opportunity with you guys to grow and grow from day to day. Thank you.
Thanks, Nico. It was a pleasure to host you on the podcast.
Thanks, Ankit and Nico.
All pleasure is mine. Have a great day. The rest of the day. Cheers. Bye bye.